Hello, 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 everyone. Good evening. Good evening, Chris. How you doing, sweetie? Good evening, PG. Much love. Much love to you, girl. You're number one. All right. In here tonight. And Miss Justice, 111, number two. Hey, PG. Hey, hey, hey to you, girl. God bless. And Brat, number three. Good evening, PG. Much love. God bless. Summer's Army. To everyone in chat needs them. Prayers. Miss Norway. Prayers. God bless, girl. Absolutely. We miss Norway. I'm wondering where she's at. Hopefully she'll visit up with us soon. She'll visit up with us soon. God bless. And yes, we will keep her in our prayers. You're number three in here tonight, girl. God bless. And number four is Lisa. Hey, Lisa, good to see you, hon. Hey, PG, much love, beautiful lady. Hey, much love to you. God bless. And let's get down through here. Second to none, how you doing, sweetie? Good to see you tonight. Vic, Stephanie, good to see you guys. Linda, how you doing, sweetie? Patty, there you are, girl. There you are. Let's keep moving down through here. Ah, there's the legendary. How you doing, sweetie? Beth Ann, I see you, girl. Brandy, Kim, good to see you guys. Ah, there's our dirt mouth. How you doing, sweetie? Hey, PG and chat. Much love to you. Oh, that's beautiful, Patty ponytail. Beautiful. Suzanne, that is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Hey, Kathleen, how you doing, sweetie? Prayers for Summer Moon, Utah Wells. Amen. Amen. Absolutely. Hey, Peanut, how you doing? Good to see you, girl. Good to see you. It cracks me up. She she named herself Peanut Shell. That is hilarious. Oh, that is sweet, Kim. God bless. All right. A lot going on out there in the YouTube world, right? PG, PG, I guess you could say PG really knows how to stir the pot. Right? I know how to stir the pot. I guess I've been stirring it. Because and Andrew licking the spoon. Right? Andrew's been licking the spoon. Uh he's having some issues with PG calling out, you know, hey, if the shoe fits, you got to wear it, right? If the shoe fits. And it seems like a whole lot of things are starting to fit where his boy's concerned, right? Where his boy's concerned. So, what can I say? What can I say? You know, I don't care about Andrew. I don't care about his boy. I care about Summer Moon Utah Wells. I care about a 5-year-old little girl who is missing, needs to be found, brought home, and justice served. As I said from the beginning, the topic here is the victim. The victim tonight is Summer Moon Utah Wells. The goal is to find these missing children, bring them home, and get justice served against the evil beings. And I just don't personally care who these evil beings are, right? I don't care who they are. I have no feelings for any of them. These evil beings need to be put away where they deserve to be. Evil humans have no rights being in our society. If you're going to be evil, you're going to destroy, anyone else's life. You don't need to be in our society, because that isn't what society's about. Society is about getting along. Society is about helping one another, caring about one another, standing together as one for one another, right? The Bible says to watch over your neighbors, and your neighbor should be watching over you. You're supposed to work together to keep everyone safe, not work together to destroy a 5-year-old little girl. That's insane. That's something that should not be done. And, we all have a heaven to gain and a hell to shun. That's just how it is. I will not waste no words when it comes to that. Absolutely not. And, I don't know if, folks are working to gain it or not. What I do know is, this life ain't forever. And I do know one day you're going to wish to God that you was working to gain that heaven and to shun that hell. And you'd have done a lot more to do it if you only knew, right? If you only knew that number was up sooner than you thought. So, something to think about. Something to think about. You're supposed to be gaining it while you got, while God's blessing you with the breath of life to get it done. Don't be waiting. You find out real quick that this life is like that hourglass, right? Turn that sucker upside down and it seems like it's pouring out so slowly, right? It's coming out so slowly. You're thinking, Lord, it's going to take forever for that salt or sand to run out from the top to the bottom. But you find out. You take your eyes off of it, turn back around, and it's time to turn it back over the other way, right? Only in this life, you don't get to turn it back over the other way. That's going to be God's choice. That's going to be God's choice. It's going to get turned over, right? It's going to get turned over, but is it going to get turned over in heaven or is it going to get turned over in Hades, right? That's going to be God's choice. Right now, it's your choice. It's your choice to do good or bad. And there's a lot of people out there that choose to do evilness. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Andrew is Hunter's dad. I'm a parent. I am a parent. And I would love to think that I'm going to do the right thing if one of my children were involved in something heinous or evil. I would hope that I'm going to do the right thing. But you know what? I don't know. I'm not there. I haven't been put in that situation to make that choice. I would hope to make the right choice, but I don't know. It's your child. You love your child. You care about your child. You're going to do all you can to protect your child. Under the circumstances, I can almost understand because, see, in a situation, if something evil did go down at that swimming hole, for instance, if Candace did manipulate Hunter into doing something sinister for her to Summer, well, as a parent of a 15-year-old child, you might feel that it's more Candace's fault than it is your child's. You can, you might feel that why should your child sit in prison for, years or maybe the rest of its life because it got manipulated by some evil human like Candace Wells, who more than likely ain't going to, ain't going to spend as much time as your child would. Because, even though it was her plan, your child carried it out. It was manipulated by her. And even if she spent the same amount of time, who cares? You know, you sometimes you don't see that the law's right on these kind of issues. You would think that the law would just, put Candace in prison for manipulating a child and the child would go free. For, that the law would understand that, it was manipulated by this evil person. But see, that ain't the way the law thinks. The law thinks that you have committed a crime, right? You committed a crime and you got to pay for your portion of evilness that you have done. They feel that, if it was that easy for this woman to manipulate you, someone else might be able to manipulate you again. Or you might think you could do evil things like this again and, there'd be no repercussions. You just try to blame it on someone else and get away with it over and over. The law just feels like they have to, they have to do what they have to do. So being a parent of a child stuck in that kind of situation, you don't know what you might do. You don't, you don't want your child locked away for forever and a day in a place that you felt it shouldn't have had to be because of an evil human like Candace Wells. So, and that's probably how, Andrew thinks. Can I say I blame him? No, I can't say I blame him. Being a parent, like I said, I don't know what I would do. I don't know. I don't know. I can't say that I wouldn't tell my kid to suck it up. You're going to have to live with it, or go to prison, and get your freedom totally taken away, and because of some evil woman like that. I can't say I wouldn't tell my child this. I can't say I would. Can't say I wouldn't. I don't know. Don't know exactly what I would do. But it does, with Hunter coming out and saying that, because him and Allie, I mean, if we go back to Chris Sims' interview, we go back when Hunter supposedly was talking with law enforcement. Candace was saying that, Summer was dressed in that outfit after swimming. She was wet. She gets cold. She was dressed in that school outfit. Candace personally told me that that was a school outfit that was in the back of Grandma's vehicle that they hadn't, took out and put in the house yet. And that, she put it on Summer after swimming because Summer was cold. And, this is what law enforcement was told, that by Candace, by Grandis, by, Hunter, by Allie. Allie, says, I went out to the vehicle. I looked back there. She was on, she's laying on these milk jugs dressed in that school outfit, is what Allie was telling all of us. And she was telling law enforcement. But Allie later slipped up and said Summer was laying against the driver's side door. And Hunter recently slipped up and said that Summer was sitting on the pillow, right? Because she was the only one wet. She was the only one wet, he said. And with her being the only one wet, she was by the driver's side door, he said, when they went through after swimming and went through Walgreens and went through Sonics and went through, you know, down to the Priceless. Hunter says that, Summer was wet. Now, they lied. They lied about her being dried up and dressed at the swimming hole. So that was a barefaced fucking lie. Why did they lie? Why did they lie? If she was on a pillow, soaking wet, laying against the back door, why did they lie about dressing her? Now, where was she dressed? Where was she dressed? And then Allie lied again, trying to tell us that, Candace's vehicle was on, video and, camera, video footage by her house. There's a camera. And Candace was, was videoed and all of this bullshit. Well, then the neighbors came out and told us that, no, they sent us all letters. Them cameras weren't working. Allie lied about the cameras working. So this is another lie. We can, she lied about the cameras working. And why would she lie about the fucking cameras working or not? If Candace pulled up and, and said, no, you can't wake up Summer, hug or whatever off the milk jugs and pull the hell out like they, like a bat out of hell. Why lie about the camera system? Why would you lie? Well, I'm going to tell you, you wouldn't unless you felt a need to be lying. If you were trying to protect someone, this is the shit you're going to try to say to protect them, right? Was Allie trying to protect her boy by giving some lame story about the cameras when she knew they wasn't working? Was Candace, was Allie trying to protect her boy, by saying that she saw Summer in that outfit on the milk? Yes, of course she was. Of course she was. She was trying to protect her boy. Why? If her boy's innocent and her boy didn't do a damn thing, and she knows her boy didn't do nothing, why in the hell are you trying to protect him? I mean, what I'm trying to say is if some old bag pulled up in front of my house that I was stupid enough to let my child go run around with and dropping my child off, right? And dropping my child off. And the kid comes up, a kid comes up missing that was in that particular vehicle later that day. I'm not going to sit there and lie. I'm not going to sit there and tell people, oh, the camera systems was working when they weren't. I'm going to say, I can't prove anything because we got letters that the camera system around here wasn't working. I wish they were. I wish they would have been working. So, it might have helped, but they wasn't working. When she dropped my boy off, those cameras wasn't working. I mean, I wish they were because, it would allow us to understand exactly what time my son got dropped off, what time she would have been arriving home. It would have gave us a lot of information that's been lost. And that's why the city needs to, fix things. They get a lot of taxpayers' money to fix things and they need to be fixing it because it's important. It's, when you need things the most, it's not there because things ain't getting fixed. And, I would have been, promoting people to write in and get these things fixed because, Summer's disappearance allowed us to know how important, it is for all this video to be working in these areas where, the cities let it elapse. So, but Allie wasn't doing that. Also, Allie, was telling Chris M, I thought Summer was, alive, but I don't know. The more I think about it, I don't know if she was or not. I mean, I don't know. And then Chris, is like, okay, so you're thinking that it's a very good possibility that Summer wasn't alive when Hunter got dropped off. You know, he brings up Hunter. And immediately, Allie's, whole demeanor changed, right? Her whole demeanor changed. All of a sudden, she's like, oh no, I think she's alive. Well, a scale 1 to 10, a 10, a scale 1 to 10 for Hunter, 10, right? Um, I don't know. Seems kind of suspicious to me. If you ask me, it seems really suspicious. Especially, learning all the things we've learned here recently, thanks to Hunter going on Andrew's, right? Andrew's panel and letting us know that, oh no, Summer wasn't in that outfit. She was soaking wet against the doorway on a pillow. And we don't even know where she was dressed now. They lied. All of them lied about this baby being in that outfit. Every damn one of them. Now, why did they lie? Why did they feel they had to lie? You tell me. You tell me. And I would not put nothing past Hunter. Hunter's a grown-ass man. He's not a little boy. He's a grown-ass man. And even at 15, he thought he was a grown-ass man, right? He's a little thug. I mean, this is a boy that had already, from what we understand from the neighbors, allegedly, according to what the neighbors told, and the neighbors said that Hunter went out in the middle of the street and violently attacked a young girl, right? Violently attacked a young girl, is what we understood. And then another lady contacted people and said, this is the boy that, tried to take my vehicle. I had my baby in the back of it. I had to fight like hell, right? I had to fight like hell to keep him from taking my vehicle with my baby in it, right? And Hunter says, oh, I was set up. No, you wasn't set up. This woman is not going to accuse you of attacking her and trying to take her vehicle with her child in the back of it if you did not do that. She's not going to do that. People just don't accuse people of doing such evilness if they did not do it. She has no reason to lie on Hunter. She has no reason in making up that bullshit. Absolutely not. Now, this boy was already very violent. He was already a very violent human being. And I personally showed you, a clip, a freeze frame clip of him giving Candace an angry look, right? He gave Candace a very angry look when he noticed she has this video on him on June 15, 2021 at that swimming hole. That a picture's worth 1,000 words. He gave her a look like, what are you doing? All right? What are you doing? And then the video goes off as soon as he's starting to go into the water. Well, Andrew sat over there, and he tried to twist my words. At no point did I threaten anyone, right? At no point did I threaten anybody. I did not threaten Hunter in any way, form, or how. He is a liar. He's a liar. He's trying to make PG look bad. And he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. Why would he feel that he has to twist? Why would Andrew feel he had to twist my words when it came to Hunter? Why did he feel that he would a need to twist my words and make it sound like I was speaking about his son when I was speaking about Candace Wells? I wasn't threatening Candace. I just said that Allie had no ass whatsoever or control over Candace Wells and Candace's influence with her children. I said that the normal mother would not allow Candace Wells to pull up and just boldly come upon their property and do as she damn well pleases with their children. And that's the truth. That's the truth. I basically said, you will not pull up on my property and act like you got some authority to talk to my kids when you fucking don't. You will not pull up on my property and portray that, I have one of your kids instead of my own. Candace Wells has her own kids at her own house, and it's where she needs to keep that ass. There is what they call boundary lines, right? There's boundary lines, and you don't pass someone else's boundary lines. I had said nothing about Hunter whatsoever. Candace felt that she could come to Allie's house and trespass whenever she wanted to just trespass and talk to these kids like they belong to her instead of Allie. And the normal parent would not have put up with that, right? So, Andrew felt, this need to twist my words. And that makes me feel that, Hunter's even more guilty now. And, he didn't help this situation. Actually, he hurt it. Because now he makes me more suspicious about Hunter. Right? Because a normal dad would have said, hey, I don't know why Allie allowed Candace to trespass like that. Candace shouldn't have been allowed to trespass like that. If I would have been there, she wouldn't have been trespassing to talk to my son. Right? That my son didn't need to talk to her. He was talking to law enforcement. What he was saying was none of her damn business. And she needed to stay in her place. And I would have put her in her place. Right? I'd have put her in her place. I'd have let her know, you're not coming here. You have no rights coming here. You have no rights being here. And I'm going to call law enforcement and let them know ASAP that there's something up with you. There's something shady going on here. Because you're too worried about what my son's saying. But I'm going to tell you something. They didn't call law enforcement, and they didn't let everybody know about how shady Candace was. Allie wasn't calling law enforcement saying, hey, this lady who has, supplied my son with illegal substances. And it is illegal, Andrew. It says, the law says you have to be 21 to buy all the things that Candace had gave Hunter that day. You have to be 21 years old to buy this stuff. Not 15, 16, 17, even 18 or 19 or 20. It's 21, Andrew. And there is a law against supplying minors with illegal substances. let it be alcohol, let it be. It's illegal to them. It's illegal to a minor. But your brain don't go that far, right? Your brain can't comprehend. I was not talking about an adult person. I was talking about your son who was 15 years old, being groomed and supplied with illegal substances by a freaking middle-aged woman who had no rights doing what she was doing with teenage children. But I found that you are no better than her because you felt that that's okay. That's okay. It's not okay, Andrew. It's not okay to turn these teenage children into smokers. It's not okay to turn these teenage children into alcoholics. It's not okay to turn anyone's child into a substance abuse user. It's not okay. You say, well, they'll get it some other how. No. If adult people, if adult humans would be adults and think like adults and run this country like adults, we could keep our children safe. Anyone 21 years of age and above should always tell someone under that age, no. When you turn 21, you do what you want. But until then, you go to school and you keep your mind, body, and soul pure and get an education. Straighten that ass up and walk this life righteously. Now, if you want to get 21 years old and then you want to buy a pack of smokes and see what it's like, great. If you want to get 21 years old and buy yourself a can of twisted tea to see how it tastes and what the effects might have, great. But don't ask me to be supplying it because I won't. Children need to be children. Children need to get educated. They need to just stay away from all the things that's going to end up costing them everything they have in the future. When you got a teenager running around acting like a little thug, looking for illegal substances and adults to supply it, well, you've got a problem, because what you're going to have is a dropout on your hands. You're going to have someone that isn't going to ever accumulate themselves to be at anything in society but a problem. They're not going to be no doctor. They're not going to be no lawyer. They're not even going to be a damn good Indian chief. Right? They're not going to be none of these things. There's no leadership in them. No leadership in them because they couldn't even lead themselves to be productive and to stay away from things they should not be introduced to. And a parent should be very highly upset to find out that some sleazy adult has been supplying their child with illegal substances that their child should not have. Teenagers are very easily influenced. Very easily influenced. Teenagers like to go with the flow. They want to be accepted. And what they don't understand is they will be for a while. They will be for a little while. But then they find out that all of their little high school middle school and high school friends went off here, went off there, went off to different places, and now they're alone. They're alone, left in the street with nobody. People got too old to be acting that ignorant. They grew up, they moved on with their life, and they left you, right? They left you behind with a substance abuse problem. They left you behind with alcoholism. They left you behind with a bunch of habits that's the only thing you're going to gain by working. You're not going to gain a home. You're not going to gain a nice car. You're not going to gain a good family. All you're going to gain is some hellhole. And a hardship of trying to keep up your habits that you shouldn't have had, that you should not have ever had. But because someone supplied it to your child, made it feel like it's cool, that it's the thing to do, it's the way to be, well, your kid's totally ruined for life. Why would you let someone influence your child like that? Why would you allow this to happen? It ain't like Allie wasn't up there and knew what these people were. It's not like you didn't come to Tennessee, Andrew, and knew how these people were. You knew how these people were. You condoned Candace's bad behavior. You condoned it. You sit there, run your mouth on PG, and condoned this woman's pure evilness against your child. You condoned it. That tells me you're not a very good parent. Matter of fact, you're not a parent at all. If you was a real parent, you would have been in your son's life. You would have been in Tennessee making sure your son was being raised right, instead of your ass in New York City trying to hide from what Allie says child support, allegedly. You didn't care about that boy. You don't give a damn how he turned out. You don't care who, you don't care who falls victim to your son. Your son acts like a thug. Your son tells people, oh, there's a yard out there. You come to it. You come to it. You and him was threatening Benny Keys. You and your son are the ones threatening people, not PG. You were the ones calling Benny Keys to the yard. I wasn't calling nobody to a yard. I said, if they came to my home bold as hell like Candace did, Allie's, well, I would have handled it like any parent would. But you condoned what Candace did. Yes, she did. She said she took Allie said she did go to Tennessee to get away from Andrew. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. She did say that. Andrew, I'm going to tell you, Andrew is an evil human being. It's just a fact. He's an evil human being. Andrew is evil, right? And, and he don't want his son, he don't want to see his son. A lot of people don't want to see their children amount to more than they have, right? A lot of people want to see, a lot of people are jealous of their children. A lot of people don't want to see their children succeed in life. You'd be surprised how many parents really don't have their child's, best of interest at heart. There's a lot of folks like a lot of parents just don't want to put up with their kids. A lot of parents would rather work than watch their children. They'd rather do anything than watch their children. They don't want to put the time, the effort, the money, and all the things into someone else. They're too busy, being selfish, too busy thinking about their self, right? They feel that that child is a hindrance, not a gift from God, but a hindrance to their life. And they're like, go do anything. I don't care what you do. Go live with the neighbor. Go live with the neighbor for 6 months, right? Go live somewhere else. Oh, yeah, you can keep my kid 24/7 because I really just don't want to put up with it, right? I want to do me. I don't want to do that kid. You know, a lot of people when their kids around, they beat their kid down. They call their kids names. Constantly, they have to, they beat their children down to make themselves feel better. There's people out there that beat everybody down to make themselves feel better. Um, I don't understand it. I don't understand it, but there's a lot of people who have to do that. There's people out there that just have to, they're not happy for you. They can't be happy for anyone but their damn self. The only time they're happy is when they're getting something. You know, they're selfish, self centered, and self seeking. There's a lot of people out there act like they love people and they don't give a damn about people at all. They don't care about nobody. They're just two-faced as hell, right? You hear these people saying, I love you lots. I love you lots. They don't love your ass at all. What they love is being able to manipulate and use your ass. That's what they love. Oh, sure, they love you lots. They love manipulating you and watching you walk through hell. It's just the way it is, right? There is people that think they have a right to tell you how to fucking think, right? They think they have a right to call you up or come around you and tell you how to think. There's people that think that they have a right to judge your life when they know nothing about you, right? Or to say things that are totally not true. We all know about those people. We all know about them people that call you up and tell you what you need or don't need to be doing, right? Put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat if you have people trying to tell you what you need and you don't need to be doing. Bitch, don't tell me nothing. Stick your nose up your own backside and live your own stinking life. Don't call me or come around me telling me nothing. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. If you're so happy with your fucking self, why do you need to be calling someone else? Right? These people that want to call you or come around you, they're jealous of you. They're jealous. They hate how you are. They are miserable pieces of shit that hate the way you live your life. It's just the way it is. That's the wells. That's the Wells in a nutshell, baby. Don and Candace Wells does not want to see anyone succeed. They want, they anyone that goes around Don and Candace Wells, they don't only want to make sure they try to corrupt you, but they want to corrupt your children as well. They want to look past you and corrupt your children. They want to make sure your children don't ever end up any fucking better than their own, right? Than them and their own do. These are, these people like that can only drag you down. They cannot pull you up in this world. They can only drag you down. I'm going to tell you the key to success is to always hang around people who can help you up, not pull your ass down, right? Hang around people who are intelligent, people who are educated, people who are going somewhere, and you'll go somewhere too. I'm going to tell you, people who truly love their children, build their children up. They don't beat their children down. They build them up. They say, you can. You can. The stars, honey, don't shoot for the stars. Shoot for going over the stars, right? There is no limit to where you can go in this life, because with God, all things are possible, right? All things are possible. God don't give up on us. We give up on ourselves. God hasn't ever gave up on no one. We give up on ourselves. Can't blame God for anything. Nobody made Don and Candace how they are. That was their life choices. And they want that life now to be everyone's life, so that they don't have to feel that they're being looked down on. If I mess your life up, then how can you look down on me? Right? How can you look down on me? That's their motto, right? That's the way they think. That's the way evil humans think. They want to destroy you just as much as they are destroyed. They know that their life's a hell in a handbag, right? And they want yours to be a hell in a handbag too. You ain't going to gain a damn thing by, seeking out or being friends with evil people. Evil people always make it feel like it's so much fun, right? So much fun to be evil. Well, I'm going to tell you what, it's not. And if they'll do it with you, they'll do it to you. They don't care about you. They don't care about you at all. And they're not going to tell you what real fun is. They're not going to tell you what real fun is. They're not going to tell you that it's real fun living in a nice community with a nice home and a nice vehicle and nice kids. They're not going to tell you that it's real fun having friends that have just as much money as you, and you can go shopping with them, and your kids can, be on the baseball teams, and your kids can be on the little football teams, and your kids can be on all of these different sports and stuff that you get to go to, and cookouts, and a lot of, chit chat, and the gossip, and I'm not talking about gossip as in she said, he said, BS. Let's hate on somebody. I'm talking about gossip, good gossip. I'm talking about, um ways to put your finances to where you can make more. I'm talking about, good deals on vehicles, good deals on maybe an extra summer home. I'm talking about good deals maybe on a boat. I'm talking about things that are going to make your life better, not worse. When I'm talking about gossip, I'm talking about the best sales. I'm talking about, getting together and helping families in need. I'm talking about, becoming a part of something in your community where everyone works together to make sure everyone stays safe. I'm talking about if you need something, your neighbor helps you and you help them. This is the gossip I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, um, who's messing with who's lying to who's cheating with who. No, no, because a good community doesn't do that. A good community keeps their distance from one another's wives and husbands. A good community only wants good for all the children, not nothing evil. They ain't trying to destroy nobody. They're trying to make everybody successful in life. That, the Wells don't want you to know that there's a world like that exists. They don't want you to know that. They won't want you to know that there's places with their door open that you can walk in and have a cold soft drink and just chit chat. They don't want you to know that there's a place where you can go in, have a cup of coffee, right? Talk about, different things like the kids' new lingo, right? These kids, every generation has a new lingo that they talk, and you have to, decipher what the hell they're saying, right? Our parents had to decipher us. We got to just, be able to do the same with ours. You need a translator. You need a translator with your children. But it don't take parents long to catch on. It doesn't take parents today long to catch on, right? You know exactly what your kid's saying. No how matter how, how weird their language gets. You know what they're saying. Why? Because that's why your kids have friends, right? That's why they have friends. And that's why your kids are friends with other kids. And, other kids love to tell, other kids will tell one parent things that it won't tell another parent, their own parents, right? Your kids don't want you to be able to understand their new language. Absolutely not. They think it's funny and cute that you're not understanding it. But there's a world out here, you know, a world out here that has this big box. So if your kid says something, you can check this big box and it'll translate it for you. And if you can't seem to hunt it down on this box. Well, just give a kid a soda pop, right? That's shooting basketball and say, "Hey, I heard these kids saying this word a lot. What does that mean?" Oh, they'll be glad to tell you. Now you know what your kids are saying. Maybe your kid ain't going to tell you, but that kid shooting basketball with your kids that you just gave a ice cold soda pop to, oh, they give you the answer like that. And parents are smart enough to do that. Parents are very intelligent, especially parents that want to know everything. And that's how, that's what parents talk about when they live in a beautiful community. This is what they talk about. They talk about, um, sometimes a parent might take the kids somewhere, right? They'll be the designated driver, taking the kids here, there, to the mall or somewhere, watching over them. And sometimes another parent will be. I had a girlfriend tell me that um, her son, her son was, acting down and out and wouldn't tell her what's wrong, wouldn't tell her what's wrong. And um, she took, the group to the mall and everything and hung out and watched them and everybody, it's time to get back in the car. And a kid jumped in before the other kids came and she asked the kid, "My son's been acting, a little down and out. What's going on?" And the kid told her, right? The kid told her, that he was having some academic problems. He didn't want to, and he probably shouldn't be saying it, but, that's what's going on. And, you know, now she knew she was able to, she was able to get him some tutoring and get him up to speed, and he was back to being happy again. Now, if this mother didn't care, she wouldn't have took the time, you know, to do all that she done, right? She wouldn't have took the time to do all she done. And her son would have stayed in a slump, and God knows where his life could have ended up at. But she cared enough. She cared enough to, to inquire why, friends know everything. Your children's friends know way more than you do. And that's the truth. And that's what really stumps me is I know True, and I know that Hunter and Hunter's sister, them kids knew a lot more about what was going on with the Wells children than their parents did. Allie had no idea. Allie hadn't Allie did not have as much information on what was going on with them kids as her kids did. Her kids had a straight insight because her kids were the ones hanging with Candace's boys, hanging with Summer, hanging with these children. And these children were confiding a lot of things into Allie's kids, just like Candace's kids knew a lot about Allie's kids that Candace and Don probably didn't know. What I'm trying to say is Allie didn't, Allie obviously didn't talk a whole lot to her own kids because when Summer came up missing, True came out telling a whole lot of things that Allie seemed to not know about, right? Allie seemed to not know about these things. Now, why didn't Allie know about these things? Because Allie was busy living Allie's life, and she really just did not sit down or spend time, talking to her kids, listening to her kids, and finding things out. I think Allie knew that these kids needed child protective services in there. I think Allie knew that the Wells kids, should have been taken. I think that Allie knew, a lot of things, but I don't think Allie really knew how severe the abuse was to Summer. But I think True did. I think Hunter did. I think their younger sister did. I think that Allie's nephews and nieces knew a whole lot about how bad Summer's life was with the Wells. Because children know a lot more, than adults do when it comes to other children's lives. And that's just how it is. That's how it is. My daughter is stunting. I'm going to tell you, if you have really beautiful children, inside and out, you are blessed. You are blessed. I think Summer was a beautiful child. I think Summer was a beautiful child inside and out. I think that little girl had a heart of gold. She definitely was full of light. She was very beautiful, very, very beautiful child. I mean, Summer just had natural beauty about her. She was just naturally beautiful, right? She was, and really kind, and really, really kind. And Summer had a real love for God and church. I mean, when they gave her a book, a Bible, and man, she held on to that Bible like it was the best thing she ever had in her hands in her life, right? I don't think she wouldn't have, I don't think Summer would have looked that happy had she had the most beautiful doll baby in the world in her arms. I don't think she'd have looked as happy as she did with the Lord's Bible in her hands. She had a real love for church and a real love for God. And they destroyed it. They destroyed this 5-year-old little girl. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to pay for that. Whatever evil humans did, what they done to her, trust and believe they are going to pay the price for what they've done to this little girl. They're going to pay the price. Ziggy and her minions making fun of me last night, PG. I wasn't even in her chat. Ziggy isn't, what do you expect out of someone as evil as Ziggy and them? Stephanie, what do we expect out of them? What do we expect, sweetie? I wouldn't suspect anything less. I wouldn't suspect anything less than what we were receiving out of that chat over there. I mean, for one, you can't be a very good person if you're sitting in a chat with a freaking witch, right? You can't be a very good person if you got yourself in Ziggy's chat to begin with. Who in the hell shows up in a chat with someone reading tarot cards and seeking the freaking devil for answers. I mean, when somebody's looking down down in hell to get answers, uh, what do you expect? What do you expect? You know, you're going to get out of people like that. I mean, what I'm saying is, Ziggy's place over there houses nothing but demons. And what did demons do? They try to make other people's lives miserable. Why? Because they're freaking miserable, right? These are a bunch of people that feel like they're going to Hades anyway. So why do they need to be good, right? Why do they need to be good? I'm going to tell you why. Because Jesus says, come as you are. Jesus doesn't care. He doesn't care. Don't, a lot of people really believe that they're lost, right? For one reason or another. For one reason or another, they just believe that, they're going to Hades, and what can they do? Well, you can turn your life over to Jesus Christ. That's what you can do. Nobody's truly lost. No one is truly lost in this world. Jesus died on that cross for everyone. He says, come as you are. And I would be personally getting the hell out of that chat. I'd be getting the hell out of there. I'd be seeking God and his son, Jesus Christ, and I would be changing my life up and seeking better days. Because I'm going to tell you, the way this world's going right now, if the Lord came today, are you going to be took? Are you going to be left behind? Because if you left behind, it ain't going to be good. It's not going to be good. You get left down here on this earth. Oh, well, it's going to be all bad, baby. All bad. I don't care how evil you are. You're about to meet evil like you ain't ever known. You haven't seen evil if you're left behind. You don't even know what evil is until you get left behind. I'm going to tell you that right now. You're going to find out that the devil ain't for your ass. The devil ain't for you. He's against you. He's always been against you. He's always been trying to get you put in Hades. He ain't your friend, and you're going to find that out real quick when you get left behind. But it's too late. Your best friend should have been God Almighty and Jesus Christ. That's who your best friend should have been. And if they weren't, that's on you. That's on you. That was your choice. But I don't mess with, I don't mess with fucking woo-wooers. I don't mess with them woo-wooers. I have nothing to do with them people. They can sit over there and, they can sit over there and blow their freaking, bad breath all over the place. Evil stinks. Evil stinks. We know that because of the stench. It comes from Hades, right? Evil stinks. I ain't trying to smell that shit. I'm not trying to smell it. Hell to the no. No, I stay away from there. I stay away from there. I do what I do. I mind my business. I come in here. I cover Summer's case. I bring to the table, whatever we have to bring to the table to help Summer in any way we possibly can to be found, brought home, and justice served. And when I leave here, I don't give a damn. Right? I don't personally really even care what the hell them evil humans are doing. God knows the truth. We know the truth, and that's all that matters to me. That's it. That's at the end of this day, all I care about is what God knows. And God knows the truth. And as long as God knows the truth and PG knows the truth, Hey, I don't care who else knows the truth and who don't. It's just the way it is. If you can't. That's what I'm saying, Stephanie. Is you know they want evil people like that can't rest unless they upset you. Don't let them. Don't let them upset you. See them for what they are. See them for exactly the evil beings they are, needing to put someone down to make their own smelly up selves feel better. Right? Just, understand that they got a stench that you wouldn't even want to be close to, and stay the hell away from them. And I'm going to tell you something. You'll see your life get a lot better when you do. Your life will get a lot better when you can laugh, because they need you. They need you. They need you in order to make their low life self feel better. And that cracks me up. That cracks me up. That's the funniest shit I ever hear. They ain't gonna get PG. They ain't gonna get no rest from me. Cause I'm too busy laughing at their asses. You know, I'm a brilliant little bitch. I'm not gonna lie. I'm brilliant. I done been around the block, baby. I done dealt with them bitches. I done dealt with them a long time ago. Right? I already, yeah, I already know. I know all about it. I know all about it. They don't get PG upset. Nope. I once upon a time sat in that cesspool of hell, that cesspool of crap. Trust me, I know how bad it is. And I know how bad it stinks. And I know how bad them motherfuckers, I know how bad and how little they think of themselves. Trust me, I know all about it. Been there. Those people, man, they are full of envy, jealousy, hatred. Now, all that shit belongs to them. It all belongs to, they can keep it. Right? They can keep it. I thank God I don't have it. That's what I thank God for. I say, I thank God I don't have it. I am so happy with who God made me. And honey, I don't even care. It's just they're going to pick on you guys. Why? Because they can. Because they can. And you got to show them that they can't. And the way that you show them that they can't is just by not paying attention to them. Don't give them no clout. That's what they want. They want clout. They want you to talk about them, right? They want you to mention them. They ain't worth mentioning. Trust me, they're not even worth mentioning. They're just, look at Vicky. Look at her. I mean, she's out on her porch smacking God knows what off of some fucking clothes. Right? Some fucking clothes. Um, Trying to pass them off to somebody else, and God knows what's on them. And, and she's always bagging, right? She's always bagging people. Pay my rent, pay my utilities, buy me some DoorDash, keep me up. I can't even feed my dog, right? Just a fucking bum. Just a bum. I mean, she ain't out here for missing kids. She's out here to, get her bills paid. There's a difference. There's a big difference. People who are truly out here for these kids pay their own bills. They ain't trying to, they ain't looking for nobody to pay their bills. What they're looking for is these missing children to be found, brought home, justice served. Right? That's just the way it is. I don't know. I don't know what to do, about the people that, people out here being bums. I don't know what to do about that. I say don't support it. Don't support. That's what I say. I say don't support that shit. You know, just don't support it. If you're going to support something, support the channels that are truly busting their ass to find these missing kids. Support, to keep the channels running. Support and keep the channels running that are truly here for the right reasons. Because these are the channels you need. These are the channels that's bringing you all the information to possibly help solve the case, to get some results, to understand, the true evils against the victims. That's where you want to put your support. Not, not into these freaking users that, are going to, I mean, put it this way. And this is a yes or no question. Yes or no? Would you want to be caught in Ziggy's chat if Jesus Christ came out of the sky right now, he came out of the sky, would you want to be caught in Ziggy's chat? Just saying. Would you want to be caught there? Would you want to be caught in a place where someone is reading freaking tarot cards, telling you nothing but damn lies, leading you down, a freaking dark alley? Would you want to be there? Would you want to be in that chat if the Lord Jesus Christ came right this minute? Would you want to be caught in there? Because I'm going to tell you, hell to the no. That's just the way it is. No way. Oh my God. She knows for a fact that Fred is innocent because she did his family tree. Did you know that Fred's mother, I hear, was a freaking witch? That she was into that sinister stuff, that weird, sinister stuff. I don't know because I didn't know her, and I don't know, but I heard she's a witch. That's what I heard. So, that tells me that, if you look in the family tree and there's somebody that evil, probably the apple don't fall far from the tree, right? Just saying. I don't know. Yeah. Stephanie, I heard that from 70,000 offenders. Exactly. I'm going to tell you what, a family tree has nothing to do with it. But I'm going to tell you, let me tell you now, if there's an evil family, a truly evil family, you might find one out of the whole damn bunch that is good. If you maybe one or two at the most, one or two. But I'm going to tell you, usually an evil ass family, they all be being evil, except one or two. Look at the Wells. Right? That was a split. It was 3 out of 3. Right? Don, Candace, and that oldest boy. The oldest boy was getting pretty damn bad, right? He was getting pretty bad. Matter of fact, he had to be moved from the other two boys, because he was so bad. Right? Don and Candace already groomed this boy. They groomed that oldest one. They were grooming him. And he, like him, the oldest boy, like Hunter, was becoming pretty bad. Right? They were becoming pretty bad. So You had the three younger children, Summer, her two younger brothers, that, still hope for, still hope for. Summer came up missing altogether. And there's hope for two. There's hope for two. You know. But had they stayed there longer, had those kids had stayed in that environment longer and growed up, well, by the time Summer would have been 15, 16 years old, I got a feeling she might have been the only one that would, the only one that would not have been like them. I think she wanted better for herself. I think Summer was seeking better for herself, and I think that made Don and Candace envious of Summer. I think they really took note that Summer, that Summer really liked, she liked people like Robin. She liked, more beautiful, more educated, more kind, caring, and loving people. And they didn't like that. Summer, was going in a different direction than what Don and Candace wanted her to go in. I'm just saying. I think, I think that Ziggy is just, I think Ziggy, I'm going to tell you, here's how I feel. When Ziggy told me that, her family really don't want nothing to do with her mom or her dad, that her family just really don't want nothing to do with her. I knew that Ziggy wasn't worth 2 cents then. Because I'm going to tell you, if your family shuns you, usually you're not worth having around. And that's true. That's true. Because your parents' door is always open. A parent's door is always open to their children, no matter how old their children get. That door's open, right? I mean, you always want to see your child coming up the walk, right? You can't wait to get to the door and open it for your child, no matter how old they get. You want to open that door. My grandmother see her kids pull up, and she would run and she'd get that door, and and these are kids that came. These kids came all the time. They came to see their mother all the time, but every time was like the first time. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, they came all the time, but she always ran to open the door and always greeting them, and it's like she hadn't seen them in years. And it was just yesterday, right? Just yesterday they was coming through the door. They come through the door all the time, but she always act the same. Always excited, like she hadn't seen them forever. And that's the way parents are. I mean, they always got that door open because they want to see you. They love you. But when a parent's door shut, man, and bolted, you better wonder what the hell's going on there. I don't want nothing. If a parent's door ain't open for their child, I don't want to be hanging with that child, because that parent knows something I don't. Right? That parent must know something I don't, and I don't want nothing to do with that. I mean, if your parent ain't got the door open for you, nobody else better be opening it. That's just my thinking, right? But Ziggy's fighting real hard right now. She married a number one suspect. She married a freaking suspect off Ben Hill Road. Um, actually, a suspect that's suspected not only of a 5-year-old missing little girl, but also suspected of, often a man, right? Often a man, and and in some cave. So it is what it is. It is what it is. You know, I don't know what to say. I mean, this guy gets a lie detector's test on, Cotton Simpson, and he doesn't even pass it, right? He don't even pass it. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'd be wanting to bring, some substance maker, taker, and seller into my house, especially with the hard stuff he was making and taking and selling, right? Distributing. Um, hell no. Hell no. I want nothing to do with that, right? I mean, you got to be pretty bad to open your door up for something like Fred Hill. You got to be pretty bad yourself. So, I don't know. I have no idea, you guys. I just, I don't have nothing to do with Ziggy. I learned how, two-faced and evil she was back when I first, encountered her. So, it is what it is. You know, she was evil then, and she hasn't changed any. A snake can shed its skin, but it's still a snake, right? It's still a snake. Beware. Beware, you guys. That's all I got to say. But, what I came in here tonight for, wasn't to really talk about Ziggy, because, you know, she made her bed, right? She made her bed. She married this fucking suspect. She puts up his cash app, wanting all of her people to support this weirdo. She says that, now he's thrown out of the halfway house, and acting like he's on the street homeless. Well, that's his own fault, because when you're in that halfway house, you're supposed to be, transgressing yourself into society. What I'm saying is, that this ain't forever, and that you're going to have to, go back out into the real world. So it's your job to be figuring out, what you're going to do once you're out of there. Now, Fred has been getting tons of donations from, many people. And for a while now, Fred has been getting a lot of Cash App support and everything else, on top of his Social Security checks that he's been getting in there, and so forth and so on. So here's my thing. Fred should not be coming out of there homeless. He should have been coming out of there, with a place to live. And, he has a wife, right? He has a wife, which is Ziggy. Now, I'm going to tell you, if I would have been stupid enough, right? If I'd have been stupid enough to marry someone like Andy B, right? Coming off of Jody Sue's radiated poo-poo hill, and I'd have been stupid enough to pick that up, right? Well, let me tell you something. And Andy B got in trouble, and he goes into a rehab, and he's going to be coming out of it. And like I said, and I'm crazy enough not only to pick it up when it comes off that heel, but to marry it, right? To marry it. Well, I'm going to have a home for it, right? I'm going to have to supply a home for it. So why hasn't Ziggy been down in Tennessee, hooking herself up on all their assistance, and finding a place for Fred to come out and live at when rehab's done. And then from there, we would have to figure out how to get him transferred to another state or another location if that's what we were planning to do, right? We would have to now figure out how to get him somewhere else where we want to be. Um, that's their fucking problem, right? That's their problem, not ours. Uh, because this is what people do. This is what people do. You know, um, it's just how, it's just how it is. It's how it is. I mean, you know, I wouldn't have wanted none of those people off of Ben Hill Road, to be honest with you. I wouldn't want none of them. I mean, Dom Wells, oh my God. I mean, Lord have mercy, right? Lord have mercy. That's just disgusting. And then you got, Fred Hill, Lord have mercy. And then Andy Bernard, you know, I don't believe a word he says either. I don't believe a word he says either. What I'm saying is he says, "Oh, I don't do anything but a little bit of weed, some goody good." Well, I'm going to tell you something. I don't think so. I think if you got any one of them men, any one of them, or any one of them women, you're going to have a real fucking substance abuser on your hands. I think you're going to be broke in no time, to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you, these are some hardcore freaking addicts right there. These are hardcore addicts. And hardcore addicts, let me tell you something. First, your bank account goes. And then everything in your house goes. And then your fucking cars go. And then your freaking house goes. And then you're sitting there freaking worse off than they are. So, who in the hell wants to lose everything, right? But Ziggy has nothing to lose. Ziggy ain't got nothing to lose. Ziggy lost a vehicle, right? It got repoed. Her vehicle got repoed. Remember that? Do you guys remember that? Put a 1 in the chat if you remember that vehicle getting repoed. Pulled down the road on a tow truck. Picked up, pulled away. $7,000, $5,000 to $7,000 going down the road on a tow truck, right? Well, Ziggy didn't lose $5,000 to $7,000. The old lady that, the old lady that was crazy enough to give it to her. The old lady that was crazy enough to give it to her lost that money. Not Ziggy. Ziggy didn't lose a damn thing when that. Hey, justice for you. Good to see you, hon. Ziggy didn't lose a damn thing. Not one damn thing when that vehicle went flying down the road, right? She didn't have a penny in that. Not a damn penny. That was somebody else's money. And that's how these bummy ass people work. This is how these scum of the earth, evil ass, and take you to the cleaners humans work. Right? They try to get their foot in your door and use you the fuck up. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Absolutely not. No way. I mean, Ziggy's hard up. She's hard up for somebody to, to take care of her. I ain't taking care of nobody like that. Hell no. Ain't got time for it. Ain't got time. I like my bank account. I like my car. I like my house. I like everything in it. I like it. I don't love it. I love God. I love Jesus Christ. I don't love it. I love my children. But I don't love materialistic things, right? I can live with or without materialistic shit, but I like it and I'm going to keep it. I worked hard for it. And these son of a bitches can work hard too, right? I ain't busting my ass to give it away. I'm sorry. I ain't giving them people 5 cents, let alone 5,000. That's bullshit. You know, I'm going to tell you something. I'm just going to, put it out there. Yes, it does take money to run this channel. Takes money to run any channel for these missing kids, for cooking, for anything. It takes money. That's true. And people do rely on the chat for support to keep it running. Yes, they do. They do. And I understand that. I understand that. Because, the creator does a lot of work, and puts out a lot of money to get all of this done. And they count on you guys to help keep it going, to help to do it. And I don't see nothing wrong with that. I don't. But what I do see wrong with things is, asking people to pay your bills. No. Asking people, give them a sad song, you can't feed your dog, so they buy some dog food. Asking people to send you food because you're hungry. Go fry a fucking egg. Go fry an egg. Go fry a fucking egg. I've had to fry an egg a few times. I'm hungry, I gotta go fry an egg. That's just the way it is, man. I can't open a live and say, hey, everybody, PG's hungry. Could you send me some DoorDash? Oh, you got to send that for 5, not 1, because there's 4 more in here that need to eat too. I don't know. Hell no. Ain't going to see me doing that either. No. You just don't do it. You don't do it. Asking for people to help keep the channel running for these missing children, to help support these missing kids and keep their channel being able to be out here. That's okay. I have nothing wrong with that. That's what we're supposed to do. I support channels. I support other channels. Absolutely. Even some cooking channels, because they give me good recipes and stuff. And I use a lot of those recipes. And if it wasn't for their channel, I would never knew about these recipes. I wouldn't knew how good they was, how easy they were. So, when people help me, I like to help them. Absolutely. And I know how much time and work goes in to all of this. It's a lot. And so I don't have nothing wrong with the chat supporting a channel. What I do have a problem with is people like Ziggy trying to take advantage, go past, what is righteous. What I'm saying is we pay to get into a movie, right? We pay to get into a movie, you guys. We pay to get into a museum. We pay to get, and to go and see things. And I don't blame, creators wanting, some help with keeping this channel going. And, because it does cost, it takes a lot out of our pockets and we don't have it. Especially, I know I don't, because I raise a big family. So we don't have it like that. And sometimes, we have to quit. Sometimes we have to, take a few days off until our money goes into, our paychecks go into the bank and we can pay StreamYard or we can pay this or that because we just can't, we can't keep the finance up all the time. So I understand. The struggles of running these channels. Absolutely, I do. Um, and the cost to do it. But I don't think that people should say, I don't have my medicine. I can't afford my medicine. To try to take the chat to the cleaners. That's wrong. Hey, everybody, let's have a Christmas thing. And you guys, you guys can support it. You guys can send stuff and you can send, money and you can send. No. Hey, you guys, I'm going to go here, there, pay for my hotel rooms, pay for my food, pay for all my things. No. I don't believe in all of that. I'm sorry. I don't believe in that. I believe that, I believe that it's okay. It's okay to help the channel keep StreamYard going, to help it keep, the highest internet going, to help keep the apps being used for content and everything going. Maybe, maybe even tipping the creator for, all the work they do. That's a beautiful thing, but it should not be asked for. It should not be, no one should feel pressured to do anything. It's not right. It's not right. There's nothing right about it, nothing right about it. But when I first came out here, God have mercy. Wow, it was bad. These creators, I seen them people sitting up on those panels, man, and they was acting like they was the king and queen of fucking Sheba. Like all the people in the chat were peasants, and if you didn't say what they want or do what they want or act the way they want, you were timed out, you were blocked, wow. I was like, damn, I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. I ain't never seen nothing like that. And then I see, I seen people having to pay money to get their comment pulled up. If you didn't pay money, your comment didn't get put up on the screen, right? The only way you could get a comment pulled up is super sticker, super chat. It was crazy. I don't know. But, that's all changed now. And I got a lot of haters. I got a lot of haters on my back. I got a lot of haters on my back because they feel that PG came out here and destroyed their pocketbooks, right? They feel like I came out here and educated and wised everybody up to not feel, don't let them act like you're disposable, that you are essential. And that's true. That, that they have no channel if it wasn't for the chat. That's true. That they needed to respect you and not expect, but respect you. And that's true. And the donation box should always be in the back of the room, not in the front. No one should be asking for it. No one should be running a thing across, or in the chat. It shouldn't be support the channel. Here's the Cash App. Here's the Venmo. Here's the PayPal. Help me, help me, help me. That shit shouldn't be going on. It shouldn't be going on. And, and I got a lot of haters. And a lot of them say you hurt nobody but yourself, You hurt nobody but your own channel. You hurt nobody but your own pocketbook. And I don't feel that I hurt my pocketbook at all. I don't feel I hurt my pocketbook. I feel like I saved a lot of other people's. That's how I feel. I don't feel like I hurt my channel. I feel like I let a lot of people know, you know, that they were essential, which they are. And I let a lot of people, understand that they need to be respected. No one should expect from you but respect you. I let a lot of people know that God loves you and He loves the fact that you're here to support these missing children, and that there is a gift somewhere up there in heaven for each and every one of you who are here doing what you do every day for these babies. I feel like I have gained all and I have lost nothing. That's how I feel. And I'll continue to feel that way because that's why I'm here. I'm here to gain, not lose. I'm here to gain not just my own soul into forever afterlife with my God and His Jesus Christ, His only begotten Son, but I'm here to try to help all of you gain it as well. I'm here to help Summer gain justice. I'm here to help her be found, brought home. Her brothers get closure along with all of us. And I'm here for every other missing child who needs help as well. I'm here for all the right reasons, not the wrong ones. I didn't come out here. I didn't come out here to make a pocket full of money. I'm sure if I did, I would have. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. Because I know that there's a lot of good-hearted people in this chat. And I know that you guys would be there if someone truly needed you, truly, really needed you for something. You guys would not just be there financially, but I truly believe you would be there physically to help. I think if I really needed you guys, there would be a lot of you knocking at my door to be with me, to help me in any way you can. And I'm going to tell you something. When you got beautiful people like that, you don't ever do anything to spoil it. Ever. You don't ever do anything to spoil that. Oh no. Absolutely not. Those are people that you want to always do righteous for. They got your back and you want to always have theirs. And that's just how I am. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not out here to steer no one wrong. Absolutely no one. Ain't going to do it. Ain't going to do it. I'm not, I don't care how upset people get. I'm bringing the truth to the table, baby. I'm bringing it all. And, I know nobody wanted to hear about the box. I know they didn't. I didn't want to hear about the box. Trust me, I did not want to hear that. That's the last thing I wanted to hear. But I'm going to tell you what. I needed to hear it if it's the truth. I needed to hear it, and so did you. We got to know the truth. We got to know the truth. I mean, hearing stuff like that, I mean, it can fuck with you, right? It can mess with you, especially when you love this little girl. You love her, you care about her. You know, you've been working so hard on finding her, putting so many hours into helping. And, you know, to hear stuff like that, it can put you to your knees. It can put you to your knees. Like, who could do something so evil, Lord? Who could do something so evil? What the hell? Your first thoughts is you can't believe this is even true. Your second thought is, oh my God, what if it is? Your third thought is, it's got to be true because people just can't make this kind of shit up. Then you got to start thinking like a cop, right? You got to start thinking like a police officer. People just don't make this kind of stuff up. You got to take this in consideration, right? So you go through all these different emotions. And then you tell yourself, is this something I need to keep to myself or should I bring this out? Right? Should I mean, I didn't want to hear about it, but does her army have a right to know this? Yes, they do. Yes. This is not a secret that should be kept. This is something that needs to be brought to the light. That needs to be examined by more eyes than just yours. Thought about, thought over by more people than you. So I brought it to the table and I don't regret it. I do not regret bringing that out. I'd bring it out again because we all have a right to know the truth. And, you know, people didn't criticize PG for bringing out the box. They criticized PG out of jealousy, out of hatred, out of pure fucking ugliness. They criticized me because evil humans, haters, do not want the truth brought to the table for Summer Moon Utah Wells. There is people that do not. There is a lot of people who pray this case ain't solved. They pray it's not. So they can continue to use it for self-gain. Like Ziggy. Ziggy don't want Summer's case solved because then she couldn't use Summer's case and Fred and all the stuff to profit from. Of course she don't want it solved. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is, you guys. There's people who are very evil. Very evil. But I came out here tonight to give you guys some. A lot of people has been saying PG, PG, what's at Dom Wells' feet? I don't know. I don't know. Here's a picture. Here's a picture of a hat and a coffee cup by the tree. The girl's keeping her distance, pretty good distance from him. There's something there on the ground. I don't know what's on that ground. There's a closer look at it. A closer look. I'm not sure if it's a candle. I thought it might be a candle holder with a candle in it because this was at the vigil thing for Summer. So I thought maybe it's just a candle with the, you know, the candle holder and the candle. Maybe. I don't know. For all I know, Don Wells could have been walking around with a screwdriver in his pocket. I don't know, right? I have no idea. But there it is. There it is. There's his hat and his coffee cup, or her hat and coffee cup. I don't know. Somebody's freaking hat and coffee cup. I tried to, enhance this for you guys. I tried to enhance it for you. That sure is a pretty blue dress she's wearing. And, I don't know. And, if it wasn't for them white socks on Donwell's feet, I'd have thought he had a pair of them old freaking pantyhose people wore in the 1800s. You remember way back, like the early eight, the like I guess the stockings, right? Did they call them stockings? Remember them old stockings? They were like skin color. A lot of old women wore those stockings that were like a skin color. You know what I'm talking about? And they were all baggy looking. I would think that Don Wells had a pair of them baggy stockings on, if it wasn't for them white socks. Look at that. Man, his legs are in bad shape. But I don't know. I don't know what the hell that is by his feet. I ain't figured it out. I just know, that chick is keeping a long distance from him, right? She way over there. I don't know if it's the smell that's keeping her over there. I don't know if it's what's on the ground. I don't know. Maybe it's the sight of his legs. I have no idea. Something's keeping her there. That's, I don't know, you guys. I can't say what it is. I'm as stumped as you guys are. I'd be trying to figure it out too, but I don't know. I can't get past the fucking legs looking like that. That's like, whoa, really super weird. But anyway, Fred, um, put a one in the chat if you remember Fred saying that, Andy, I had to move the trailer so you could get by. You were in there on June the 15th, and I had to move my trailer so you could get by. Remember, I had to move the trailer for you. Put a one in the chat if you remember Fred saying that. Because he did. He did. He absolutely did. I heard it with me own ears. And I'm going to tell you, if I don't hear it with me own ears, I don't be saying it. But I heard it with me own ears. And I'm going to tell you something. He did say it. He said, I had to move the trailer for you to get by on June 15th. You were in there, Andy. You was in there. Right? He was all over Andy. Had everybody. I mean, he had Andy, chasing his own tail. Right? No, I didn't, Fred. He had Andy pretty upset. He was really stirring the pot up, saying he had to even move the trailer for Andy. Well, then Fred comes out and, has this to say.
And supposedly Andy turned and met the blue truck right here.
And supposedly Andy met the blue truck there. Supposedly Andy was supposed to meet the blue truck there. No, Fred. What do you mean supposedly? Now, here's what Fred is riding down through there. As a matter of fact, he's in some kind of blue vehicle himself, isn't he? And Candace did try to say blue van, right? Remember Don Wells said, was it a big SUV and she was on Dr. Phil. She said, no, I thought it was a blue van. What are you in, Fred? I don't know there. Who does it belong to? I don't know that either. But anyway, Fred says he goes into Ben Hill Road, right? And he says that now he's talking about cameras, right? He's talking about cameras. He says he goes past the Wells house, right? He goes past the Wells house and he keeps going and he keeps going and he says, here's a camera and, there's a camera. This is one of the camera sightings and here's another camera sighting and first camera sightings, second camera sightings, talking all this stuff about the cameras down through there, right? He says here's is on this property and camera on these properties as he's going down through there. Well, anyway, he's getting on down through here, and Andy met up with somebody and in this area right here, he says, right? In that area right there. I thought it was a woman. I thought he said there was a couple of people meeting up with Andy. One of them happened to be a lady. But now it's just some kind of blue truck or something. And he's telling about, down through here, this camera supposedly didn't pick up Andy. Now he's trying to say, he knows that Andy had to turn around or met up in this certain area because Fred, I thought you were there. You said your ass was there. You were there watching. You were there seeing it. And now it's like, this is always on surveillance. Supposedly this is all caught on surveillance. This ain't, Fred seeing it. This is stuff caught on surveillance on June the 15th. And supposedly, it all went down. Bullshit. I'm telling you, Fred Hill is a liar. He's a liar. And why is he lying? Why is he making this shit up? How do you go from I was there moving a trailer, seen your ass, know what you was doing, to, oh, it's all on surveillance. But it ain't on surveillance here. So you had to, turn around there. No. Now it sounds like you're just making shit up. And I'm going to tell you, Fred, I know for a fact there was only one camera working in that holler, and it wasn't down anywhere past the Wells towards your place. It was coming out onto, it was coming out of Ben Hill onto Beach Creek. The Wells would have been going towards Beach Creek for that camera to get them. It had nothing to do with your way. Absolutely not. You're lying. And that one camera is the reason that law enforcement knew that Candace had come out twice, because they saw her heading out to Beach Creek way before Summer supposedly supposed to come up missing. And then around the time she was putting on her show, talking to Don Wells, and saying that before they called law enforcement, that is when they saw her a second time, way later. And she was heading to Beach Creek then as well on the same camera. So what the fuck are you talking about? There were no other cameras. And law enforcement should know, Fred. Law enforcement should know. And the person that don't know is you. You just lie. You lie. And why you're lying, I don't know. I don't understand it. Cotton said what he seen, what you supposed to had on your property. Why would Cotton say something like that? Why would Cotton tell people that he saw such a horrific thing on your property? Why would he say that? You don't say stuff like that. You just don't go around telling people shit like that. And they said he was pretty upset when he was saying it too. He was pretty shook. He was pretty shaken up about it. Pretty shaken up. And he could fight it. He could fight it into people he felt he could confide into. I mean, he just wasn't confiding into weirdos, like some weirdos, some friends and weirdos he knew. He was confiding into people he truly trusted. And why would, he was telling his family this. So why would this man make this kind of stuff up? He has no reason to make this up, Fred. I just don't believe that. And then he's with you and Laura all day at your house doing illegal substances, and ends up a homicide. He ends up being a homicide when he was with you guys that day. And I also, also rumor has it, now I don't know how true this is or untrue, but rumor has it that Cotton saw someone else earlier that day that saw 4 packs of cigarettes in the middle of his car on his seat. 4 packs. You don't smoke that brand. You and Laura don't smoke Cotton's brand. 4 packs of his smokes on that seat. And somehow the same person saw you and Laura and you were smoking. Cotton's 4 packs were gone. When they found his vehicle, the packs of smokes were gone. And someone saw you and Laura smoking up his brand of cigarettes. They wondered, what was you doing with the brand that was disappeared out of his vehicle? That's what they was wondering. What was you guys doing smoking the brand of cigarettes that were actually missing out of the middle of his vehicle? Answer that. I don't know. That's why you had to take a lie detector's test. Yeah, there's a whole lot going on, you guys. Whole lot going on. Whole lot of stuff. Whole lot of stuff being said. I had to snap me a cold one, and I didn't want, I didn't want to make my haters jealous that I'm getting a cold one. But I would say, here's to you and here's to me. All right. I think they know how that one goes. I think our haters know how that one goes. Yeah. These are the things. This is the things, Yeah, cheers, PG. Cheers, girl. These are the things, that we as creators, we work hard and we work behind the scenes to come by, so we can bring it out here and add it to the list of things that may solve Summer's case or Cotton's case as well, right? Or Cotton's case as well. I mean, I think if we could solve Cotton's case, we might solve Summer's. Because I do think that they're somehow related. What Cotton knew, what he knew and what he had, what Cotton had inquired upon Summer's case, and I guess, the money, I'm sure the money that he had played a factor as well, and what happened to him. And I mean, these people seen it was an all win. They saw it was an all win to do what was done to him. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. And, so it was an all win. So hopefully, hopefully both of their cases get solved. I hope I hope and pray that Cotton's case gets solved just as well as Summer Moon Utah Wells case gets solved. I hope that, a lot of these cases, a lot of these, I hope God pulls the truth to the light and lets us know what happened to a lot of these people. I would love to know the truth about Summer. I would love to know the truth about Cotton, Allie, Leslie, right? Marlena Crawford's boyfriend, her dad, right? The guy, the Ricky guy. I would love to know the truth about the young girl who was trying to save another little girl and ended up, later taken out. I would love to know exactly what the hell is going on, right? In Rogersville, Tennessee. I would love to know the truth of what's going on. And I'm sure at some point God is going to let it, God said the Bible tells us nothing is done in the dark that does not get pulled into the light. Don't think you can do things in the dark. Don't think that you can say, oh, God ain't going to see or this or that. Because God sees all. I'm going to tell you, God's got night vision. He sees everything. He's always watching you. Always watching you. You're being watched all the time. You better be being good all the time, too. You better be being good. I ain't trying to say that, I'm not trying to say that, somebody definitely did this or definitely done that. What I'm trying to say is there's a lot of facts in this case, whether people want to believe it or not. There's a lot of facts. Fact is, Don Wells showed premeditation when he changed up the vehicle on the 14th, fired his coworker to blame it on, and his daughter comes up missing on the 15th. Don Wells changed things up. And that is a fact. And that fact shows that that was premeditated, that Don Wells knew. He was preparing for what was going down on the 15th. He already knew because he was preparing on the 14th by firing his coworker and changing up the vehicle. He was preparing for what was coming on the 15th. So it was whatever happened, Don Wells and Candace and Grandis can't get out of it. Whatever happened, they know. They know. No doubt, they know. That's just fact. That's a fact. Also, a fact is, as Hunter slipped up and said that little Summer was the only one wet in the vehicle on a pillow against that door. And a fact is, Allie, Hunter, and Candace and Grandis all lied. They all lied about Summer being in that outfit when Hunter pulled up to get out of the vehicle. Because there's no way. Unless they stopped somewhere between Priceless and Hunter's house and redressed Summer and put her over on those milk jugs. There is no way she was in that outfit when she got to Allie's. Because Hunter plainly said that she was the only one in the car wet on a pillow leaning against that driver's door when they went after swimming. They went through Walgreens, went through Sonic's, and went to Priceless. She was still wet. That's a fact. Can't change a fact. So they lied. Why? Why? Was it because they knew she was drowned? They knew she wasn't no longer with us. They let her lay on that door, and Hunter's big ass sit up in the middle, freaking out, all the way through Walgreens, freaking out through Sonic's, freaking out at Priceless because he's sitting next to a child leaning against the door on a wet pillow. What was the point of Candace making up a lie saying Summer had her hands behind her head like her dad when her arm was completely trapped under her body against the milk? There's no way two arms could have ever been up. No way she had them arms over her head. One arm was trapped completely under her body. A lie. Another lie. Why? Why? Why'd they have her laying on cold milk? Hunter said they had AC on. He said they had AC on. So why lay her on cold milk? A lot of questions. He planned it. Absolutely. Could this have happened the night of the 14th? Possibly, because Jody Sue Brown said he was looking for Summer the same night and they were looking for Dobbs. Jody Sue Brown's a liar. She's a liar. Donald, Candace Grandis, Jody Sue, Andy's kids, and the Wells kids were all down on the road the night of the 14th, including Summer. They were all down on the road, running all over the place, making all kinds of noise until it got dark. And then once they started getting dark, Grandis took the boys and Summer up to the house, and Jody Sue's son and the sister, they went up to Jody Sue's house, and Jody Sue, Andy, Donald, and Candace, they went out looking for Mr. Dobbs. They went out looking for they went to the 3 hotels looking for Dobbs, and they went up and down side roads looking for Dobbs. They went searching for this man. Why? This man that they had police run off. This man that had a legal deed to that property, but they had law enforcement run the hell out of there. But they're Dobbs didn't come in there looking for them anymore. They went looking for him. And thank God they didn't find him, because what was they going to do? Why were they looking for this man? That man wasn't nowhere near Ben Hill Road anymore. He was on surveillance. Him and his dog were on surveillance that whole entire day. Law enforcement knows where Dobbs was. Yeah, possibly deframing. Maybe Don Wells wanted a backup in case Dudley didn't work out. Maybe Don Wells wanted a backup. I don't know. I know that, Chad Arnold said he came into Ben Hill Road and caught Candace down at Fred's and Laura's house between 3:30 and 4 o'clock. Well, Candace didn't even turn onto Ben Hill Road until 3:15 to 3:20, coming down through there. So if he came in between 3:30, 4 o'clock and caught Candace down there, Candace would have had nobody else to hand Summer off to other than Laura and Fred. She really wouldn't have had time to hand her off to anyone else. I mean, and the only thing Candace would have had time to do was ride up on the hill, let Grandis out, and go back off the hill down to Fred's. And then if Chad pulls in right after Fred and Laura pulled out, Chad came pulling in and caught Candace down there, and Candace is hollering, my daughter's missing, then, between 3:30 and 4 o'clock, there's no way in hell. There's no way that Summer could have been planting flowers. No way she could have been playing on the floor. No way she could have been going into the basement. There's no way she could have been doing any of the shit that Candace tried to say was going on, because she's already missing. She's already missing, and law enforcement isn't even called. Law enforcement ain't even called till later, till like 6:30, and Don ain't even called until 6:09. So 2 hours, 2 freaking hours before, before anyone starts to get a phone call. Chad Arnold's been told that Summer's already missing. 2 hours, right? And there's no place else she could have put her. Where else would she have put her? What else could she have done with her? There's no way. Oh, we got Jody Sue Brown in here. You are the liar, not us. Listen, Jody Sue, you haven't done nothing but open your sepulchre, your smelly one, and freaking lied on this case over and over and over. You want to call other people tragedy pimps, but you have been the biggest one. You used this little girl. Well, first of all, you used Candace for those gift cards and money, and then you call her up, getting nasty with her, wanting her to pay you. For what, Jody Sue? For lying about a scream that you wouldn't change? You got that scream an hour too soon. Why didn't you change it? Why didn't you go back to law enforcement and say, wait a minute, it might have been like 5 something, because Andy didn't get home closer till 6. I think I could have been about an hour off. Why didn't you go back and change it? You were getting paid, right? I heard you. I heard you on the phone arguing with Candace about giving you her money, right? About giving her money to you. You was giving her shit because you was wanting that money. And like I told her, was you giving her any of your money? Was you giving her any money that you was getting off Tiffany Marie's? I mean, how dare you? I talk about a tragedy pimp. You wouldn't even go on Tiffany's. If Tiffany was going to have a Cash App or any super stickers, chats, or anything, you said when you were on there, only your Cash App could go up. That if she was going to get anything, you wasn't coming on her channel. That was you, bitch. That was just so you got everything and she didn't get nothing. Because you knew that people would still donate to her instead of your ass. And you wanted to make sure that your ass and your Cash App was going to get it all. You want to talk about a real freaking dog? That's you. Ruff, 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 right? That's you. Barking your bullshit out, setting yourself up. I mean, you could do that to Tiffany Marie, but you wouldn't have done that shit to PG. I'd have told you, look, Jody Sue, why don't you just be honest with me? You don't want me putting up anything or getting anything because you want to get it all. Don't underestimate my fucking intelligence level. I don't like people like you. I don't like people like you. You felt that you could manipulate Tiffany Marie because she's a young girl and needing you for click, likes, and views, right? She wasn't using you, Jody Sue. You were using her. And you used a lot of other people. You even got a freaking GoFundMe up to move that ass off of 125 to where you're at. Well, not where you're at now, because they moved you to a place and then you want it moved again. What you got moved again. The first place wasn't good enough for you. I heard you got moved twice. Right? That's what I heard. And, you took advantage of a lot of good people, but most of all, this little missing 5-year-old child that you say that you didn't even know, that these people were just acquaintances, that if you needed to borrow this or borrow that, or they needed to borrow a little something, that was the extent of your friendships. right? You don't even fucking know them. So why did you gut your nose stuck all up into something you don't know nothing about? How can you talk on something that you know nothing about? If you didn't know these people on the other hill and you didn't really socialize with these people on the other hill, then what the hell's you got your nose out here into the other hill for? Why? I don't know. I have no idea. You come out here like you know everything when you obviously didn't know shit. Right? And you use these people up. You use these people up. No, I'm not a liar. You are. The problem is you are an evil, lying human being. You made up that scream. You didn't, you made that scream up, Jody Sue. You made that scream up. Why? I don't know. Why? I don't know. You know, um, you say that you don't believe in our God or whatever. I personally don't care what you believe in. But I'm going to tell you something, Jody Sue. Hell is awful hot. And whether you believe it or not, there is one. There is one. There is a God. There is a Jesus Christ. There is a heaven and there is a hell. Not believing in it don't make it go away. It's there. And I'm going to tell you something. It's going to be awful hot when you lie on a missing 5-year-old child's case. That little girl was an innocent little baby. She was one of God's children. And I'm going to tell you what Jesus said. Oh, it is better to hang a millstone around your neck than to do what you do bad to a little child. Right? And you lied. You sat there and you said that your old man Andy was supplying drugs for Candace, and it wasn't the goody good. You said to ask what it was besides the goody good. And I got that on recording, Jody Sue. I can play it out, honey. I can play it out. No problem. Your words. You said, ask him what he was giving Candace to sedate those children, and not just Summer, but other little girls to be touched. To be touched, Jody Sue. To be touched. You knew those children were being sedated to be touched, and you didn't report it to Child Protective Services. You didn't report it to law enforcement. You didn't do anything to help not just Summer, but other little girls as well. Is that what you're telling us? That's what you're telling us, Jody Sue? Yes, it was what you were telling us. You were telling us that you had all knowledge that your old man, Andy Bernard, was supplying illegal stuff to sedate little girls, including Summer, to be touched. That's what you said. And you didn't help them. You said that you saw Summer soaking wet out of the shower and Don Wells behind her coming out of that shower as well. And you call this little girl a brat and don't report it to Child Protective Services. You say that her brothers were coming over and stealing food because they were hungry, but you didn't report it to Child Protective Services. Right, Jody Sue? And people really want to listen to you? People want to listen to something your evil ass has to say? They really want to listen to something that someone who had all to gain and nothing to fucking lose? You didn't care about those children. All you cared about was the money that your old man was getting, that you felt your big ass could go spend on eat outs and whatever else your little ass wanted. And you didn't care the price or the abuse or the misery or pain or anything else those babies were going through. Just so you got what you wanted. Right, Jody Sue? Because that's what you're saying. That's exactly what you're saying. She didn't try to save any of those kids. She had her ass over there walking, if we remember right, walking in the water, walking that ass in the creek. Well, because she says, she wanted to walk in the creek, not to mess up, not to mess up any scent or anything. Um, Jody Sue, how did you know? How did you know that it was a crime scene? How did you know it was a crime scene? I thought everybody thought Summer wandered off. I thought you guys thought she got lost out there and that she was going to get found. Oh, so you were in on it too, right? You were walking in the creek trying to not mess things up because you were portraying some crime scene as well. You knew the plan. You knew the plan as well, right, Jody Sue? You knew the big fucking lie of the abductor theory as well. So your ass was in on it, and that's why you made up the scream, and that's why Candace was giving you free half of all the stuff she was getting, so that you would keep, so you would try to protect her, and you was. Let's go back when Summer first came up missing. Oh, Candace was really distraught. Candace really, I'm telling you, she was a really disturbed mom. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't think Candace had anything to do with what happened to her daughter. Remember that, Jody Sue? And then when the money stopped, when Candace told you, get the fuck out of there, that she ain't giving you shit no more. Oh, then all of a sudden, Candace and Don's guilty. Where's your daughter, Donald? Where's your daughter? What did you and Candace do with your daughter, Donald? Right? Yeah. Then they're all fucking guilty when they ain't nothing for Jody Sue to reap any longer. Like, half the cash app money, half of the freaking little gift cards and other bullshit, right? And ain't nothing for you to reap. All of a sudden, they're all fucking guilty now. They had all to do with it. I'm going to tell you, Don and Candace ain't getting their boys back because law enforcement knows that they cannot clear them asses. Number one suspects in their own daughter's disappearance, they cannot clear them asses, and that's why they ain't getting those boys back. They cannot clear their asses in their own missing daughter's case. It has nothing to do with their house, their land, or their substance abuse. They could clean all of that up, but they're not, because the one thing they can't clean up is the mother freaking clearing herself out of their own missing daughter's case. That they can't get done, and therefore the boys can't get returned and won't ever be returned. Matter of fact, they've already signed them completely over to Child Protective Services to be adopted out or kept up by the state until they're of age. Right? Because they want to avoid prosecution. They want to avoid prosecution. Right? Jody Sue, you wish my kids were fake. You wish my kids were fake, don't you? And I'm going to tell you another thing, Jody Sue. You are the biggest fucking hypocrite bitch I've ever seen, because you know what? Let's talk about your kids. Let's talk about your boy supposed to be in the pool with Summer. Right? You don't like people talking about your daughter or your kids, but you go talk about somebody else's. So you know what? You just opened a door. Talking about my kids, bitch, now you open a door for me to talk about yours, because that's how this works. Now, how about your boy over there in a pool with Summer? Right? And Fred Hill caught him up there in the pool with Summer. And Fred Hill said that everything in Fred Hill's mind was very, very nasty and disturbing when it came to your son and Summer. Right? Kind of like Fred Hill was basically saying that your son was up there essaying this little girl in that pool, violating Summer in that swimming pool, Jody Sue. Is that why you sent your boy off to the military? Because he was violating a 5-year-old little girl and you knew it? I also heard your boy was up there sneaking around and peeking around, set off an alarm, and got chased back to your fucking house. Actually, right next to you down at the car. And you were trying to take up for him. What was your boy sneaking up on the hill for? What was he sneaking around over at the wells all over their property for? Who the hell was staying up in the top of that shed out there, Jody Sue? What the hell was that TV and them grills and all that food containers about? What the hell was in that box over in the corner that sissified ass Ryan was too afraid to go look in? What was in there? Why didn't Ryan report that as a crime scene? Because Andy definitely said it was, and he had no idea who'd been doing that. And there's a 5-year-old child just came up missing over across the road. I think that should have been checked into. I think that law enforcement should, that could have been the assailant that came along and just ran Summer off the hill and over to your place up into a loft, and you guys didn't know that he had her there. It could have been a big crime scene. Why wasn't it reported? Right? Why wasn't it reported? Come on, Jody Sue. You want to talk? You want to talk to me? You want to talk to me? Why don't you let your daughter go to school, Jody Sue? Why don't you let your daughter be a normal child and go to school every day? Why don't you do that? I mean, you was letting her go to school before Summer went missing, but ever since Summer went missing, you won't let your daughter go to school any longer. Does your daughter know things that she might confide into little friends and stuff, and you want to make sure she don't, because it could be very damning and to you and your family? Is that why you don't let her go to school? Come on, Jody Sue. You want to talk? Let's talk. Let's talk. Take the link, Jody Sue. Come on up on panel. Come on up on panel. You want to talk to PG? You want to talk about people's kids? Let's talk about yours. Let's talk about your children, Jody Sue. We know they do exist. We know yours does exist. Right? So let's talk about yours. Oh, you don't want to talk about it? What happened? What happened, Jody Sue? PG run that ass off? PG run that ass off? I guess I did. Get the fuck out of here. You don't like to hear the truth, do you, Jody Sue? You don't like to hear the truth. I hear, from my understandings, Jody Sue, out of your own mouth, you said that you heard a scream from inside the cabin. Inside. Did your boy have Summer over there inside the cabin? Did he have the 5-year-old little girl inside that cabin at your house? June the 15th, 2021? Was he the Andy that Don called about, that was waiting for a little girl to come back and have something to do with it? Was he the, because I think your son's named Andy too, right? Your son's, or they called him Little Andy. Maybe his name ain't Andy, but everybody called him Little Andy. Was that the Andy that was over on the hill looking to mess around with a little 5-year-old, a kid? Did Candace rush back? Did she rush back to like the swimming pool day? Did she rush back to that to let your boy, God knows your boy'd have to do something because ain't nothing. The way your boy looks, honey, he'd have to pay for it. He'd have to pay for it. That's for sure. I doubt if there's anyone really even willing to sell to him. If you ask me, that's just my opinion. That's my opinion. I seen your boy. A motherfucker so ugly you'd stop a clock. Just saying. That's one ugly kid. That's an ugly kid. I think he might have to resort to something else if he was actually getting any at all. I don't know. Come on, Jody Sue. You want to talk about somebody's kids? Let's talk about yours. Let's talk about your kids. Bitch, don't come on here fucking with my kids. Don't ever do that. Because you come over here wanting to talk about my fucking kids, we're going to be talking about yours. We're going to be talking about your children. Your boy is a man. Your boy's a man now. You want to come over here talking about my freaking minor children? We'll talk about your daughter, who is a minor. Right? Why ain't you sending her to school? There you go. Don't come over here opening a can of worms. Don't do it. Ain't going to happen. That's right. She brought my kids. She brought my children into this. This bitch don't want people talking about other people's children and whatever, but you know what? Don't come over here talking about mine. Don't come over here talking about my children. That ain't going to work out well. That's not going to work out at all. Period. My children wasn't on Ben Hill Road running around with no fucking wells. My kids, my old man wasn't over there selling substances to sedate little girls. My children wasn't seen up in a swimming pool by some Fred Hill talking about some essay and stuff with a 5-year-old child. Wasn't my children. I don't let my fucking kids hang around crud balls. Low life freaking garbage. Bunch of substance abusers. A bunch of sickos that possibly was running some kind of ring of letting people have at it with little minors. Little freaking, it's not even a minor. That's a mother freaking baby. 5-year-old little babies. Who the freak gets off with children under the age of freaking 15 or 16? Who in the God's name has anything to do with a child under the age of 15 to 16 years old? I don't even know. I don't even know. Now, I know a lot of girls at 15, 16 years old. Well, they be twerking it. They will be twerking it. But under that, you are just disgusting. You are absolutely disgusting. There are 15, 16-year-old girls built better than some women. They are young girls who are built better than some women. And you got to be careful because there is sick people out there that would try to take advantage of your 15, 16, 17-year-old children. Absolutely. Let it be male or female. Male or female. You have sickos like Candace Wells wanting to get around your boys. And you've got Dom Wells wanting to get around your daughters. Maybe your boys too. I don't know. Allegedly, maybe even your boys. I don't know. These are some real sick motherfucking people. Real sick people. And the more you search out Ben Hill Road, the worse it gets, baby. The worse it gets. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm going to tell you, it pays to be a helicopter mom. It pays to know where your children are every second of every day. And that is the truth. You got some real thick ass people. You know, you got that freaking nasty butt that has done nothing but been a tragedy pimp, taking everybody to the cleaners like she knows something. And then she lies a motherfucking minute. And if she does tell the truth, she tries to retract it. Right? She tries to retract it. I'm going to tell you something. I think if law enforcement really wanted to solve Summer's case, they could have already did it. I don't think it would take much to solve Summer's case. I'm going to tell you that now. And I hate to say it, but I think if they locked all of fucking Ben Hill Road up, if they locked all these people up, the Jody Sues, the Andys, the Fred, the Lauras, the freaking Wells, the Granny, I think if they locked all these people up, well, I tell you what, they get the right son of a bitches, is what I think. That's my opinion. I think they'd have the right son of a bitches in prison. And I'll tell you what, none of them would be there for nothing. None of them would be there for nothing. They'd all be there because that's where these people belong. They'd all be there for the right reasons. Right? I think they all deserve to be locked up. If you ask me. That's my opinion. It's lucky. It's lucky that I'm not the mother freaking law or the court system in mother freaking Rogersville, Tennessee. Because if I was, I'd be pushing for this case to be solved. I'd be pushing the hell out of these people to get that case solved. I wouldn't ask, I would demand that case be solved. And these people be put away where they belong. That's what I would be doing. Because that's what's righteous in the sight of God. And I believe in doing righteousness in the sight of God. Not sitting around and letting these monsters run free. If they would do it, they will do it again. If they have done it, they will continue to be doing it. Oh, yeah. Bring it back, Jody Sue. Bring it back. She want to run off, huh? She want to talk about her boy. She didn't want to talk about her daughter, right? She want to bring that ass over here and talk about, PG's kids. You don't come over here and talk about my kids, bitches, because I'll tell you right now, that is not going to happen. That is not going to happen. Don't come trying to talk about my kids, because I tell you what, you don't fucking do that. You don't do that. I'm going to tell you right now, I love my kids. I love my children. You bet your freaking ass I love my kids. And I take damn good care of my kids. My kids live in a clean home. They wear clean clothes. They have clean bedding. We got a washer and dryer. And let me tell you right now, I wear that bitch out. I take care of my children. They have clean freaking rugs to walk on. Clean floors to slide across. They get 3 meals a day. My kids get breakfast, lunch, dinner. They get snacks. I make sure there is always freaking cakes and cookies and chips and all the stuff in the house. Soda pops. They don't have to have it if they don't want it, but it's there. And I'm going to tell you now, there's ice cream in the freezer. There's ice cream cones. There's plenty of freaking food. Potatoes, salad, steak, chicken. Plenty of food in the house. Mayonnaise, ketchup, salad dressings. You run out, open the pantry. Open the damn pantry. You'll find more. I spend my money. I allocate my money righteously. I allocate it into the refrigerator. I allocate it into laundry detergent. I allocate it into clothing and clean sheets and beddings. I allocate it for shoes for my kids that fit them. Their foot grows, we get new shoes. I buy milk for the kids. I don't buy milk to take it with me and suck it down. I buy it to stay in the refrigerator for the children. Orange juice for the children. There you go, Jody Sue. I don't live in a fucking trailer. And talk shit. I'll sit around in a fucking trailer all fucking lonely and pissed off that my old man ran away, kissing up on something else, and running around with my lying fucking tongue trying to cause all the hell and havoc I can to other people. I don't do that. You didn't help Summer. You're too busy swinging on your old man's dirty freaking sack down there. And you know it. And you're still swinging on it. You're still swinging on it. That mother freaker can't pull you loose. Why don't we be honest? You ain't going to tell the truth for Summer. Telling the truth for her probably get you put in prison. Right, Jody Sue? That's my opinion. My opinion is if you told the truth for her and what you knew and didn't report, you'd probably do some jail time. Right? Shut up. Nobody wants to hear you. Nobody wants to hear you anymore. What you say don't mean a hill of fucking beans to this case because you already went and told law enforcement and you retracted everything you have said that could have helped Summer. You retracted it. You claimed that you were a fucking liar. They told me, they came, knocked at your door, bitch, to talk to you. And you retracted everything you said. Said you were lying to us. And there's no law against you lying as long as you ain't lying to the law. That's what you said, bitch. And I know, don't I? I know, Jody. How do I know, Jody Sue? Figure that out. Won't you figure out how I know? Huh? How do I know what law enforcement knows, Jody Sue? Think about that. Keep your fucking tongue off my kids. I'm out here trying to find this baby, get answers for this baby, and bring this baby home. What the hell are you trying to do, Jody Sue? Besides divert everything and keep her from being found. That's what you're doing. So you need to shut the hell up. Ain't none of us going to listen to you no more. You and your sorry ass little channel that's got like what, 5 people now? Nobody wants to hear you. You're irrelevant to this case. You are irrelevant to this case completely. Don't go hauling your ass to no channels because nobody wants to hear you anymore. Take your bitch ass somewhere else. You made your last dime off of Summer Moon Utah Wells. Bet your ass on that one. You made your last fucking dimes. Everybody sees you for what you are. A freaking liar. You didn't help her when she was here, and you ain't helped her since. You don't care about Summer. You don't care about nobody but your own dirty, low-life self. You don't even care about your little girl. Or you be giving her some freedom instead of keeping her up in there all stuffy with your stinky backside, letting out radiated poo-poo. Probably still crapping in a bucket because that's just who you are. I've seen bitches like you that don't know how to go to the toilet. They'll piss or crap in anything but the toilet. What makes you all fucking weird like that, I don't even know. I'm going to tell you, folks, I've seen it all. Trust me, PG's seen it all. I've dealt with too many of these weird, evil motherfucking weirdos. Too damn long. They all got problems. They all got issues. Trust me, a whole lot of them you don't want to know about. Right? Whole lot of stuff you don't want to know. People like that, they all alike. They're all alike. Right? And they're all following the same freaking yellow brick road, right? They're all following the same yellow brick road. Bunch of damn cowards. They're freaking heartless, brainless, and cowards. That's what they are. A bunch of heartless, brainless cowards. There you have it. That's Ben Hill Road, baby. Ben Hill Road. Straight up. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. And I'm going to tell you something. You want the truth? Come here. Come to this channel because you're going to find it here. You're going to find the truth right here on this channel because I'm going to tell you, I ain't going to lie. I have no reasons to be lying at all. What I tell you, I have. I have the receipts. I came in here tonight to tell you that Fred Hill is a piece of lying crap, that he's changed up his stinking story again. And what did he do? He changed it up. Did I bring receipts? Oh, yeah, right here. Right
And
here.
supposedly Andy turned and met the...
Supposedly. No, he said that he had to move his shit, that he's seen all of this stuff. And now it's supposedly. And it's supposedly on cameras and all of this bullshit. No. I call these people out for the fucking liars they are. Their indiscretions to help Summer. To help Summer and help Summer's case. And I'm going to tell you what, I don't even care. I don't even care. And I'm going to continue to call them out. And I have the receipts. Everything I say is violent. It is 100%. It's just what it is. I validated it. I brought the receipts to the table. I'm going to tell you, these people are freaking liars. We know for a fact it's not allegedly. It's a fact that Don Wells changed his shit up, fired his co-worker to blame it on, and his daughter disappeared the very next day. That's fact, baby. You cannot look at it any other way. That is solid on the table. That's solid. And I'm going to tell you, what does it tell us? Oh, well, it tells us he knew. He knew everything. That's what it told us. It told us that this son of a bitch premeditatedly, pre-planned what was going to go down on June the 15th. That's what it tells us. That's not allegedly, that is fact. I'm going to tell you, I don't put the freaking cart before the horse. I put the horse before the cart. I do my research. I know what I'm talking about. I know. And when I bring something, I bring proof. You go and watch any video you want of PG's, and you will see the proof pop up, just like this.
Blue truck right here.
You will see it. It will pop up right before your eyes. The fucking horse saying exactly what I'm talking about. Right? You hear it. You see it. I'm going to tell you, I don't bring anything that I cannot back up. Nothing. Nothing at all. Fred Hill, right here. Don said he's been places where children was sold as well. Don has said many facts. You bet your ass on that one. He sure has. Don, how long is Summer's hair gotten? Well, I don't know, Fred. You got the box. Why don't you tell us? Why don't you tell us? I hear that fingernails and hair keeps growing for a while. So why don't you tell us? From what Cotton says, you should know how long her hair is. Right, Fred? Don, the night you got the 2K and to prove you didn't have to trade Summer for that. But you left Knoxville still owing. How you know that, Fred? How do you know that? And I'm going to tell you something. That's a lie. That's a lie, because at the time that lie came out, I was actually talking with Don Wells. And when he's supposed to have been in Knoxville, Candace made that bullshit up. And then people were up there on the hill. He was in the basement looking at them. He was in the basement watching them walk around out there, and Candace talking the bullshit. And me and him was laughing. We were laughing. We was laughing because neither one of us could understand why Candace was saying that shit. So you know what? You can just shut up, Fred. He wasn't in no Knoxville. He didn't buy $2,000 worth of anything. That is not true. He was hiding that ass down in that basement. The only substance that Don Wells spent money on was enough for him to be screwed up in that basement. That's the only substance he had. And he probably got that from you or Andy. He was in the basement messed up. That's the truth. But he wasn't at no Knoxville. He was right down in that basement hiding. Matter of fact, he hid for, I think, 2 to 3 days. 2 to 3 days. He was hiding down there. And then he finally came out and went back to work. So shut up, Fred. Don't even go there. I know the truth. Plus, you called CPS the same night to come get the boys because they wasn't safe because of you two. No, he didn't. No, he did not call anybody to come get the boys. Matter of fact, Child Protective Services showed up because of law enforcement. And Don and Candace not being able to cooperate and clear themselves. They came up there and took the boys. Don and Candace Wells did not have no intentions for them boys to be leaving. Child Protective Services showed up unannounced and took the boys away because law enforcement had confided in them and with them that Don and Candace Wells was looking guilty and that they wasn't able to clear themselves in their own daughter's disappearance, and the boys were not safe there. That was all law enforcement. So shut up, Fred. Don did not call nobody to come get his children. That is no truth to it. No truth to it. The boys were leaving no matter what. And Don just happened to be more okay with it when the caseworkers were standing there than Candace was. Candace wasn't wanting the boys to leave. But Don knew they had to go, and they were going, regardless if they cooperated or not. They were leaving. So he was trying to make the best of it. Yes, he was. That's how it all went down. You just lived right down the road. Right down the road, Fred, and you didn't know all of that. Funny how PG knew, huh? Funny how I know. And this information was submitted to TBI, is what Fred has to say. When my phone was dipped 3 months ago, what was it dipped in? Chocolate? What was it dipped in, Fred? Why? So they had to go through your phone? They had to go through your phone to get information because what? You wasn't giving it to them righteously the way you should have? Yeah. Jody Sue Brown said she did something. Andy, and it came out of her own mouth. Well, she done something. Ryan only trying to take credit for someone else's information. Well, that's true. That's true. That is true. He's trying to take credit for, actually, Ryan's a liar too. Ryan's a liar. He's fucked up Summer's case in so many different ways. It's unbelievable. Matter of fact, I should do a live on that. Put a one in the chat if you'd like to hear how Ryan has screwed it all up. I'd be glad to have a live and let you all know all the truth on that one too. If you'd like to hear it, put a one in the chat. I'll be glad to bring it. I got lots of secrets I can tell. Whole bunch of them. Just altered just a little. What did you alter? The whole fucking thing, right, Fred? You've been altering everything to save your own ass. There was several children found in Knoxville, but their names haven't been released yet. Fred, that was, you're talking about old stuff, and that was all teenagers. I checked into that way back when it first went down. So, that has no bearings on Summer's case whatsoever. That's already been checked into, and it was all teenagers. And why would they? Why would they give out the name of these children? Are you insane? Don, you have no emotions. Why are you still seeking her? Maybe seeing her, maybe every 2 weeks, just saying, or was. Fred, it's a little too late to try to act like Summer's still with us. Now you're trying to give people hope that this baby's still with us, and you know she isn't. Right? Cotton paid the price for knowing she isn't. If you ask me, in my opinion, Cotton paid the price for knowing she's not. And everybody else knows she's not too. Don't even go there. Jody Sue wore the pants. Obviously not. Jody Sue obviously did not wear the pants because the pants walked the hell off, got with something else, and married it. So, you know, Jody Sue setting that ass somewhere, you know, all alone, all alone, right? Trying to make other people miserable because she's so damn miserable herself. That's just how it is. That's how it is, you guys. Anyway, um, okay, well, we got a lot of ones. We got a lot of ones wanting to hear about Ryan and how he totally and utterly screwed Summer's case up. So you know what? I will make time to bring that all out and let you know. And I'm not going to hold nothing back. I'm not holding nothing back, you guys. I'm going to tell you something. Ryan, I found out everything. Trust me, I know it all. And because you know that's what we do. That's what we do, right? That's what we do. We make it our business to know everything for Summer Moon Utah Well's sake. That's what we do. You know, so as we go out of here tonight, which I'm going out now, as we go out of here, throw those hearts up. Throw the hearts up for all these missing children. Throw a variety of candy colored hearts up as we go out of here tonight, and let these children, these missing babies out there, wherever they are, let them know how much we love them and we support them, and we're going to be here for them as we go out of here tonight. Keep those prayers going up for these babies. Keep the prayers going up for Summer Moon Utah Wells. I'm going to tell you, from our lips to God's ears, he's going to hear them. He's going to hear our prayers. We're going to continue to do righteousness. We're going to continue to do righteousness in the sight of God for these missing children. We're going to do all we can to bring them home. We're going to do all we can to get them the help they need if they're still with us, and we're going to lay them to rest the way they should have been if they're not. And we are going to give the families closure, and we're going to give ourselves closure as well. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to do this with God's help, because we couldn't do it any other way. We cannot do it any other way. You know, God don't need us. We need him. And we're going to keep them prayers up, going up there until God answers. We're going to pray to God through his son, Jesus Christ, that these babies are found, and that these people, these evil humans, get exactly what they deserve for doing something so cruel to a child. That's what we're going to pray for. We're going to pray that God intervenes, because it don't seem like anybody else is. And we're going to pray that he gets the job done that it don't seem like law enforcement's able to do. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Keep those prayers going up, you guys. And we're going to keep moving forward. We're going to keep moving forward to help these babies. And we're going to keep the truth coming. We're going to keep the truth coming no matter what. Haters, no haters, we don't care. We're going to keep this truth coming out here for these babies. Let me tell you that right now. We ain't going to back down. Stand us up at the gates of hell. We are not going to back down. We are definitely going to find the truth for these missing children. Amen. God bless. Much love. Good night, everybody.